Hey, it's Patty Wilson. I'm in a parking lot in Tallahassee with my windblown hair. And I read Donna Adelson's emergency motion by her attorney, who I have questions because she says Donna hasn't been able to speak to her attorney, but then the attorney gives extreme detail to Donna's incarceration. So, and her trip to Tallahassee via police vehicle from the backseat. So I'm just curious, how did the attorney get the information if she's not allowed to talk to her client? And how does this jail official, which it probably wasn't an official, a jail sergeant, maybe, deputy, corrections officer, say things like that to Donna and it's documented, but Donna's too sick and too depressed and too underfed to comment. And this attorney knows her arraignment is in a few days. I don't know that the attorney watched Judge Everett's demeanor in the case for Charlie Adelson. I don't think she did. I don't know what she did, but this isn't going to work. It's just not going to work. Like, it's never going to work. Like, these people are, it's just not working. I don't even know what to say. Like, does she know Leon County? Does she think, it made me think she thinks that instead of Jack Campbell, whose father was a long-term elected sheriff here, Sheriff Campbell, who was around for like the Bundy case. Like Sheriff Campbell's been around, he was around forever. So Jack Campbell's his son. Willie Meggs was the previous state attorney, and Willie Meggs didn't want to press charges against the Adelsons for whatever reason. I really don't know why, but they didn't want to. So now we are. It's very sad. Like, I think it's very sad. Very sad for this attorney, because I think Judge Everett, who's already corrected her once, she made a fool out of herself at Donna's first appearance in Miami. And now this emergency motion. Why would Donna ask for a Bible? She's not even a strict Jew. She might be now. She might be. And the reason why, if she is truly eating with her hands, it might be a sandwich. You know, the whole bologna thing. But you threaten to unalive yourself. So they're going to watch you 24/7. You will have no privacy at all. I'm sorry, I really do hope it's not inhumane, but she is in jail. It's not inhumane, and she forgets she's in jail. She's not in the Delta Lounge. Like, she's not in the lounge with the buffet. So they will give you handheld food to eat with your hands. Not finger sandwiches, Donna. But you threatened to unalive yourself. So I was at an event last night and I spoke to, how shall I say it without releasing names? I just spoke to sheriff's deputies. We'll call them sheriff's deputies. And they said that she is on 24-hour watch still. And that she likely will be. They also said there's great, not apprehension, but they believe she will either attempt to kill herself, either by not eating or doing whatever she can, because she doesn't want to face a trial, which is true. She might want to just try and get some plea to spend the rest of her life in a prison, but she can't. Would she be able to go to Lowell, where Catherine is, which is kind of like a really low security? I don't know. I got to put my glasses on and see what y'all are saying. Because I went to the eye doctor yesterday. My left eye is a 20/20. Perfect. My right eye, I can barely see out of. And I don't know why. She needs a passy. Oh my, can you imagine what this life is like? Hey, Patty. Hey, Georgia Peach. Eating with her fingers. Is it true? It's likely true. It's likely, I'm sorry, I have blue like eyeglasses on, but it's likely is true because you can't have utensils if you threaten to kill yourself. She's in deep stuff when she walks in that court. No water on the ride up. Mattress on the floor with a dirty blanket. Describe dirty. Used wool, likely. On the floor, likely. Likely a plastic mattress on the floor. She better bring back up when she comes in from Miami. I'm sorry, I really do hope. It's not a spa, but it isn't as bad as Miami either. Dan cannot talk to his family forever, Georgia. Spot. What happens if she doesn't eat? My belief after speaking to this person yesterday is they will give her an IV. They will get a court order to maybe hospitalize her, and there'll be a deputy with her 24/7, a female, but she'll be chained to a bed and she will get force-fed an IV. Absolutely. She was given a spork. I don't know if she'd even be given a spork. I don't think so. I don't recall. Remember, I worked in that facility in the medical, and I really believe they're just given finger foods. Her lawyer better have her act together. Her lawyer, even if Everett was inclined to give her house arrest in Miami, it's not happening. They're not moving her back to Miami-Dade County to give her house arrest. It's just not happening. It's still not till the 12th. Like, you have a hearing coming up. Yeah, those sporks, I mean, I don't know that Donna could do it, but I do know there's policies in effect that when someone is a threat, that they cannot just do what they want. Remember, I told you about, I think I told you not way back, but it's like a couple weeks ago, that when I was a nurse at night and there was somebody who wanted to unalive themselves, they had a chair that they sat in that was basically, it was hard for me to watch, but you were basically restrained and kind of strapped to the chair. It was like Velcro, but it was, I don't know what most of these people did. I would have to look up on a computer to know what their crimes were, but it was hard. It was a challenge for me to watch it because you're still strapped down. And I know for myself, I don't even like my feet to be covered. So it's a really good reason for me to not break the law, was watch that. I am going to the hearing. I told my business partner, Scott, like, I'm going to the hearing for sure. I'm going to go to the 8:30, see if I can see anything, and then I'm going to go back for the 2:30. But when you're in one of those seats, you can't, and these are people who are like actively, say, trying to hang themselves. Their arms are not really available for them to hurt themselves. Are you going to come down, Beach Bum? Are you coming down? See if I missed any questions. Her lawyer better get her act together because Judge Everett will just dismiss her. Like, we can't have a trial and have an appeal for incompetence because, to me, as a consumer of true crime, she's incompetent. Reading that motion, I felt like this girl really is charging a lot of money, and I don't know that she knows what she's doing. I don't. Unless she just wanted something for the record. I didn't even get that far. No, can't do this time. I thought Donna's is at 8:30. Donna's is at 8:30. Charlie's is at 2:30. But I'm sure Georgia Kappelman can pull those, obviously, the records from the jail. This is a high profile case. I don't even know that any deputy or correction officer, because the correction officers are deputies, right? They're sheriff's deputies. Some are both. Some can do like over the road work and be out in the field, and some are just correction officers. It depends on your weapons training and that kind of thing. So they just may want to be in corrections. They may want to go off the road. But highly unlikely that some guy's saying that to her. And if so, there would be medical personnel nearby. Like when I was the nurse, policies could change, but when I was the nurse and something like that happened, I had to be present. So I don't know if it's true or not. Yeah, let me have you fly back to Miami and then just go from there. It's like she needs a book or a Bible. Now, why she doesn't get a book or a Bible, I don't know. Why she's asking for a Bible is more entertaining to me than the rest of it, considering how she treated Dan and his faith. I don't know. But the other interesting thing, I don't know if you pay attention to it, but I can post some slides later. I'm on my radio show in about a half hour. Is that Crystal Rogers case, they are searching a new area in Bardstown, Kentucky for her remains. So way back when, a gentleman was arrested who was an addict, and he was a paraplegic. I think he was a quadriplegic. He'd been in a motorcycle accident. So he was in a motorcycle accident, living on his own. Some FBI got involved in this case. They realized that Brooks Houck was, when he was talking to the investigator, had this guy's dad named Steven give him a call, or he called him because he was like, who was this number you called at midnight? So Brooks Houck plays like he's calling Steven. Steven plays like he's so shocked that there's a call. And then FBI put two and two together and realized that Steven has an addict son, and the addict son was like, could have been involved. So they go do a little bit more digging. They go arrest the addict son. The addict son's laying naked on the floor, probably high as a kite, naked on the floor, and they arrest him. And that was like, ooh, that's a big deal. And then a couple months later, they put him in a medical facility, which is probably the best thing that ever happened to the kid. And then they arrest Brooks Houck. So we feel like Brooks Houck, maybe his father, because we don't know where his father is. His father used to be on Facebook, but shortly after I found the father, he took himself down. The mother is still on Facebook. They've been divorced a very long time. And so now they're going out and searching an area in the woods that they had not been searching before. So it's a bit of an interesting thing with Crystal Rogers, because in my mind, they're both about the same time frame. They're both about 10 years. They're both about the in-laws. They're both about people were just living their life, and you just took them out. You just took them out. You didn't want them to break up with you. You didn't want them to have anything. And there was a boy involved in the Brooks Houck Crystal Rogers case. Sherry Ballard, who is Crystal's mother, was not allowed contact with her. Brooks went to court, said that Sherry was disparaging Brooks. So a judge removed her ability to see the boy. Now, Sherry Ballard is a whole lot like Ruth Markel. She just wants to see her kid. You know, there's siblings involved that are older. Crystal had several other children, and Sherry was denied custody. Once Brooke was arrested, he had a live-in, also named Crystal, with blonde hair. And the mother was going to go after full custody of this child. And eventually, because they found that she had recorded the grand jury testimony, that her name is Rosemary. It's Rose space Mary. And her last name is Ballard. She is a big landowner. Her mother was a big landowner in Bardstown. Land's worth a lot of money there because of all the bourbon. So, and just farming. So she withdrew her part of the custody hearing, and she waived her rights to custody. But I don't know that Sherry has rights to custody yet. I haven't seen a hearing yet. Sherry Ballard is a very sweet woman, right? And this goes to show, like, the Markels were really good about this. Don't shoot an attorney, because if you shoot an attorney, all those attorneys are really going to, like, gather up and make sure that the path is clear for law enforcement. That's why it was kind of upsetting that Willie Meggs just didn't want to try the case. Bardstown is a very, very small county with a lot of tourism, and I don't know how that Commonwealth is run, but it took the state attorney general to get the FBI involved to be able to get the FBI to do the search a couple years ago at Brooks House that started this ball rolling. She should be getting her medication. How is that info out if she's not seeing her lawyer? That's what I wanted to know. Oh, and your last name's Keogh. My grandmother's maiden name was Keogh. She, yeah. How does she know? She's not getting her blood pressure medication. Why? Maybe her blood pressure isn't high. I asked this deputy last night about her weight, and he said they may not have even weighed her, or it could have been a typo, which I don't think it was a typo, but they just may not have weighed her when she came in. We don't know if she was combative. We don't know if she was, we don't know, because we don't know. You do eat sandwiches with your hands. Now, it's not like beef stew, but it's a punishment. I don't know what inhumane means anymore. I know inhumane means don't kill your son-in-law or don't hire people to do it. So our radio show will be on Facebook Live about, I don't know, 4:15, 4:30. I have a guest today. He does pest control. And my business partner Scott's on with me, and then Greg Tish, who is our producer. So we'll be on Facebook Live. It's under Patty's Playhouse. And we talk about real estate. We talk about life in Tallahassee. I'm going to bring this up. And I'm going to bring up our poor FSU team. So sad right now. Really sad in town. Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go, Eileen. Donna called Harvey. But it was only 5 minutes, so she must have been... I can't put it on YouTube because we use music. It's a radio show. And they'll ban me. They banned me before. She only had 5 minutes with him. She could have gotten it all out. But again, that's all. It's her perspective. It's her experience. Like, it's her experience. But why not? Why is she not able to speak with her attorney? What did she say? I'm going to giggle. That she wanted to be put in a different cell type so she could speak to her attorney. But since COVID, there are no visitors, like in-person visitation with the jailies, the inmates, the incarcerated. Recollections may vary, right? It's a good line. I have something in the tooth. Recollections may be, yeah, it's her truth and it's her experience, and we all have to respect that. I just hope her truth finds a better attorney. You can't have that big ass condo and just like wing it with an attorney that really doesn't even know detainees, the incarcerated. She's lucky they don't put her in general pop. Nah, I don't think it'd be that bad. But they did used to have book carts that go around and you could pick a book. So I don't know why she's not getting a book, other than they think she could file a book down and make it a knife. I don't know. Hey, Patty, a 20-year-old from down here, down where, died up in Tally, but local news won't say cause. Can you get me the name and I'll look it up? Well, I don't know with Donna that there's a lot of self-responsibility. I doubt it. Yeah, give me the name. You can put it right in here. Or you can always email me, my email is pattyisfunny, Patty is funny @gmail.com. Local news won't say the cause. Oh, Jupiter area. I don't believe the bit about the mental health person calling her a fancy white lady. I don't either. And if it's true, she's going to get called a lot worse. So she better. Jailers may have decided because of notoriety. I was told it was, yes, that they will segregate her, like Charlie was segregated as well. They will segregate her because of the high profile nature and because hits were made, like hits. And also, what did he say? Oh, because of her wanting to unalive herself. She's better off in medical than she is in solitary confinement. I mean, being on the floor, you're going to be on the floor in solitary confinement. She want a roommate? I don't think so. Well, this is the first time I've been able to do a live from my phone, so I'm pretty happy about that. Why would they what? Realize the case? Oh, Caden Ingram. I will look at it. I don't know anything about it, but I will look it up. And I'll ask Tish if he knows. He has the sheriff's department come on his morning show once a week. And he was going to ask her, Angela Green, she's a spokesman for the Leon County Sheriff's Department. Tish was going to ask her at their regular session, their regular segment, why do they all have tablets? Because Tish wanted to know. I believe it's because they don't allow visitors and it helps recidivism, but I don't know if that's true. I don't know. Well, they wear badges. So, like, the doctors wore badges, the nurses had like, I don't know why you have to wear a badge to go through. I never saw anything like that. Like, I just never saw anything. I go back and think about it, and I work night shift, which is, of course, more casual. And there isn't a lot of admin or a lot of medical people. I just don't recall anything being like that, where they would just abuse you, like verbally abuse you through those cells. I just don't remember. I just don't. There was nothing that came out to me. In fact, shortly after I left and took a full-time job as an admin, as a nursing home administrator, there was some sort of case where they said, oh, it was one of the nurses said she'd been fondled or raped. And I didn't testify in the case, but I did call, and I was like, that's 99% never happening, because there was no time that I, as a nurse, was allowed to be with a detainee in private. Never, ever, ever happened. Never happened. I was in there when they were being examined. I was in there, and there was always someone there. So I just find it very hard to believe. What is the weather? I don't know, but it's definitely cooler today. It's like 63 degrees and crisp, and my hair is literally flown everywhere. Even though I have like number 5 hairspray on, I'm getting a haircut tonight. But I don't know. I'll look it up for Tuesday. And these attorneys, they just take whatever these fools say and just repeat it. They're just mouthpieces for the attorney. She probably did. She's lucky she's not in New York. I mean, they're very wealthy people in the New York prison system that's much harsher than Florida. I mean, I just never worked during the day there with all that admin, but I can't imagine that they're just allowed to throw verbal abuse at people, especially as litigious as everyone is. Donna misses. Would a medium-level jailer even save Fancy White Lady? I just cannot. It just didn't happen. I just cannot imagine it. Because most of the deputies are white or Hispanic. I just cannot. And a mental health professional. I just don't believe it. I could be completely wrong, and I will apologize to Donna at her arraignment on Tuesday. Yeah, I just don't believe it. And again, most of these people, when you're incarcerated, now they'll know Donna's background because it's on the news, but most, like, when I was there was a girl who had, she was like a piano savant. She was of Asian descent, and she killed her mother. And I knew her because it was a big case at the time. But most people, we don't know why they're there unless we go click, click, click and look it up. The story of no water, they're on orders. So there could have been a situation where they were told that they had to be somewhere. They're not by themselves. There's other cars with them. She could have refused water. She could have spit out water. We have no idea. We have no idea what happened. Until these situations are made public, we have no idea if any of that is true. And the judge may, in that hearing, ask those questions. But that doesn't mean she's getting out. Where are you from, Avalia? Yeah, it doesn't mean it's true. It means there could be a variable of truth. We don't know how long they were on the road till they had to go to a rest stop. But that makes sense. That's why it took them till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to get there. Well, I got to get to the station. I'm only like 5 minutes away. Yeah. Oh, so I asked this person, my little source, yesterday, and I got to go. I'm going to be late. I asked him. He said FBI does not wear body cams. So on that note, if the FBI transported her, which they could have, there's no body cams. I got to sign off because I got to go. Take care, everybody. Thank you.